Redlands. And guess where I am today? The police department with
Yes.
Chris Catren, Redlands Police Chief. Welcome.
Yes, well, thank you very much.
Oh, it's exciting to be here.
Great.
I get excited by most of my interviews, but this one I feel is like one of the most important ones because it's the police department. And the police chief, he's like the one who knows everything about the city.
Let's hope so.
So tell me a little bit about yourself and what you do here at the police department.
All right, well, I'm Chris Catren. I've been the police chief now for going on a year and a half. I've been with the department for over 24 years and actually started as a crime analyst, doing all the mapping and determining where crime is happening and where the trends and series and patterns are. And then just kind of fell in love with policing, even though it was never my goal to be a police officer. I kind of fell in love with it while working here and have worked every aspect of the department. And then, like I said, just a while back, became the chief of police. It's a great job. You know, this is a great community to work in. And so my job essentially is to manage all that we do for policing. So all the public safety throughout the city, it really falls on us. So we get calls ranging from transient calls to homicides to everything, fatal collisions, you name it. So we do a little bit of everything.
You know everything that's happening here all the time.
Yes, I mean, it's a 24/7 thing. Redlands is a busier city than most people believe. We handle about 60,000 calls for service a year.
60,000?
60,000,
wow.
yes, exactly. And most of those aren't crime, right? So most people think of that's why we don't call ourselves law enforcement, because if that's all we did, that's a tiny little piece of the puzzle. Really, we get called for everything. Nobody calls us up to say they're having a good day, but they call us for everything else, right? They call us to help solve family problems, to help solve problems at school, you name it. So we're here for everything.
Wow.
Yes, exactly.
Well, you're stationed at the schools, at least you used to be, I remember.
Yes, we actually just re-implemented a school resource officer program, so we now have school resource officers at our 2 comprehensive high schools, and that's being funded by the Redlands Unified School District, so it's a great partnership, and we're all about partnerships. You know,
Yeah, you are.
when we can join with somebody else to do something good, we're on board.
And that's what really makes us special here in our town. You know, for the people who don't know Redlands or are considering moving to Redlands,
Yes.
that's one thing that they really need to know about is that the community gets so involved with the police and this partnership that it really makes your job a little bit easier.
It does. You know, what we refer to, it's called the co-production of public safety, right? So there's only 88 police officers in the city of Redlands of 70,000 people and an even higher daytime population. So what we have to do is we have to co-produce public safety. So we rely on the community for their eyes and their ears and the fact that they call us. And really that makes a huge difference in Redlands. You know, when people know their neighbors enough to know something is out of place when a car shows up, to call us and say, hey, I think there's something going on at my neighbor's house. That's how we catch most of our residential burglars, in fact, is people calling us and saying, hey, I think something's amiss.
Get down here quick.
Yes, and we have major crime, we get all kinds of tips. And it doesn't happen everywhere, you know, and it's a result of the trust that the community has in its police department that we're going to do something with that information.
Sure.
And we do, you know, so we've solved 98% of our homicides over the last 20 years, and that represents every homicide solved with the exception of one, which we are still working.
Oh gosh, that sounds really good. 98%. Well, congrats on those numbers.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you. Yes.
So, you know, I asked those 4 pretty standard questions, but I'm not going to ask them of you because, like, who do you serve? Well, we know who he serves.
Everybody that shows up.
and we know not to call Chris, but to call 911 if we needed help.
Yes.
Need help. So, my last question is, you know, that one word and how you would describe this town of Redlands.
Community. I mean, that's to me what differentiates Redlands from other places I've lived or worked. This is not a city, it's a community. So we call it the city of Redlands, but really it's truly a community. Everybody comes together. We have over 62 large special events per year that we are involved in, and it brings everybody out. They're all invested in this place, and everybody's working to make it a better city and more enjoyable.
Yeah, and a great place to live.
Yes, I live here, work here. It's the best.
Oh gosh, it's so much fun to come down and see you.
Well,
so thank you for spending some time with us and letting us get to know you.
Yes, definitely. Thank you for coming.
Absolutely.
All
and
right.
I hope to find you around town too.
Yeah.
Bye for now.
Take care.